your thoughts?
What? What? Who?
Nice.
Here we go, 9:03 on this Tuesday morning. It's the 21st day of May right here on our daily show, CJ Nasello, RiverBender.com, Roku TV, anywhere and everywhere you get this show. Thanks for tuning in. We got a good show. Going to be talking to Gavin O'Brien here in about 15 minutes or so, but who's counting? We're going to get the latest on his career, and he just played Busch Stadium yesterday. We'll ask how that went and all that fun stuff, too. Then 10:15 comes around the corner, and we're talking to Luis. The Cardinals, well, they showed signs of themselves in one game against Boston. We'll talk about the, mess that is their clubhouse, the morale issue, and, they're playing better. So that's probably a good thing. Maybe morale isn't the thing you need for success. Luis is in the clubhouse for the Cardinals. He's in the locker room for St. Louis City, the Blues, and we're going to get his insights on the St. Louis sports scene as we do each and every week. But at 9:04, here's what's happening around the Riverbend. Make sure you guys sign up for your daily email update. Join myself, 70,000 people that are in the know each and every day of the work week and on Saturdays with Around the Riverbend. We'll take you to Godfrey first. Madison County Sheriff's deputies responded to a single vehicle rollover crash in Godfrey near Airport Road at Evan Parr Lane on Monday. According to Chief Deputy Marcus Polito, a preliminary investigation indicated that the vehicle was traveling northbound when the driver lost control, left the roadway, and struck a power pole. The collision caused the vehicle to overturn, ejecting both the driver and front seat passenger. The victims were transported to a St. Louis area hospital with critical injuries. Further details have not been released at this time. We'll take you to Edwardsville next. In tragic news, an autopsy has revealed that Caden Topol, an 18-year-old from Edwardsville, was the victim of a fatal gunshot wound in Wood River. Emergency calls were received just before midnight on Thursday, May the 16th, reporting the incident in the 100th block of Thompson Street. Wood River police officers, along with other agencies, responded to the scene where Topol was pronounced deceased. The investigation, led by the Wood River Police Department, indicates that this was not a random act of violence, but an isolated event involving individuals that were known to each other. Authorities are continuing to gather information to ensure the community's safety. We'll take you to Cottage Hills. A 30-year-old Cottage Hills woman, Candace Marie Spink Smith, succumbed to injuries following a fatal vehicle accident on 8th Street in East St. Louis. Here's what we know. On Tuesday, May the 7th, St. Clair County Coroner Calvin Dye Sr. has identified the victim. Illinois State Police and the East St. Louis Police are currently investigating this incident, but no additional details have been released. Candace was remembered by a friend as, quote, a young, caring, beautiful woman with a full life in front of her. Her funeral and visitation took place this following Saturday on May the 18th at Panic Funeral Home. Over in Brighton, a man with a history of criminal behavior is facing new charges after allegedly pushing an elderly relative to the ground. Jason D. Batorglio, 51, reportedly ingested methamphetamine before the incident on May the 12th. He believed the victim, a 73-year-old family member, knew about several conspiracies. Batorglio's extensive criminal history includes previous charges of aggravated battery and multiple domestic battery offenses. Now, this latest charge is a Class 3 felony, and he remains in custody pending a fitness exam with a hearing set for the 3rd of June. A petition seeks to deny his pretrial release due to the perceived threat that he poses. Finally, in news this morning at 9:07, Kathy's Corner, a beloved establishment in Eldred, announced that it will be closing indefinitely this Friday. Owner Kathy Nolan expressed mixed emotions, citing a desire to retire and spend more time with family after 15 years of running the business. Nolan acknowledged the highs and lows experienced by small business owners and apologized to her patrons for the short notice. Customers are encouraged to use any remaining gift cards or certificates or charge accounts this week, with cash refunds available until the 30th of June. Potential buyers for a turnkey business are invited to contact 618-535-4192 and see about the potential revival of Kathy's Corner. Finally, in the news today, out of downtown Alton, Max is offering an extraordinary experience during the Cubs-Cardinals game this weekend, Friday, May 24th and Saturday, the 25th. Attendees can indulge in a two-day baseball watch party featuring sports betting from Circa Resort and Casino from 5 to 8 p.m. on Friday and 4 to 7 on Saturday. The event will bring Las Vegas sports betting and that experience to the old 618 with a complimentary buffet for those who RSVP. This event promises to be the first of its kind experience for the local community. Don't miss this unique opportunity at 315 Bell Street in Alton. Let's take a quick check at your weather today. 79 degrees, but it feels like 82 out there. Partly sunny, windy, hot, and humid. You better stay hydrated when outside today in this heat. Tonight, cloudy and humid with a couple of strong thunderstorms around the area. Storms, they're going to bring flooding downpours, hail, damaging wind gusts, and even the potential of an isolated tornado. Temperatures do reach 90 degrees today. They drop down to 61 overnight as we head into Wednesday. On Wednesday, the 22nd of May, we experience a 65% chance of thunderstorms, a high of 75, a low of 60. On Thursday, the 23rd, and 90% chance of more thunderstorms, a high of 78, a low of 67 degrees. On Friday, the 24th, a 96% chance of thunder. Do you see the pattern of thunderstorms? A high of 81, a low of 61. And on Saturday, those skies, well, they start to part for some partly sunny skies, a high of 82, and a mild low temperature of 62. For time and temperature throughout the day, you can always give this phone number a ring, 618-465-4545. This time powered by Bounce Back, Rehab, Recover, and Return Home. For all the folks that are curious about when weather's rolling in, on our radar right now on RiverBender.com, you can see that it's going to start creeping into the area right around 9 to 10 o'clock, and then overnight from 10 to just about 11 or 12, the rain will hit the area, and by 1 p.m. or 1 a.m., it'll move on out and move more southeastern away from our region. So stay up to date on RiverBender.com/weather, and always make sure you're signed up for our RB text alerts, SMS notifications for the older crowd out there. You can text RB to 618-202-4618. That's 618-202-4618 to stay up to date and alert on breaking news, weather alerts, closings, cancellations, sports scores, and more. But especially in these kind of weird summer months where you can have storms at an instant's notice, we pride ourselves on getting that weather alert out a step quicker than all the other media agencies around. So make sure you stay up to date and in the know. Before I send you to Skycam, let me fill you in on what do you guys want to talk about? I think Village Dispensary. You know, Village Dispensary is really a great partner of ours, and I'm so excited to be doing a little bit of a video commercial here in a couple of days with them as we keep moving down the gauntlet and talking all things cannabis. All right, cannabis connoisseurs, we got to be blunt about this. Village Dispensary is your go-to spot for all those green old things, whether you're after vapes, flowers, topicals, tinctures, edibles, concentrates, or even just some accessories. They've got a selection that'll make you feel like you are in Harold and Kumar's dream. Their friendly staff is faster than a Fast Times ride, getting you what you need in no time. Locally owned and all about quality, union-built, Village Dispensary is dedicated in bringing to you the best cannabis experience. Check out villagedispo.com for their awesome inventory. And remember, when you stop by, don't forget to tell them I sent you over there. That's Village Dispo, villagedispo.com. Let's take a look. I'm ready to see Skycam, and we'll come back and we'll talk to Gavin O'Brien right after this. Get over here on RiverBender.com.
Sings a song, stands like she's singing. Ooh, baby. I set the thermostat so my house would be warm when I got home from work, but the kitchen is still cool.
At Barrett Heating and Cooling, we stand behind every Linux system we sell.
My dealer said he'd take care of everything.
At Barrett Heating and Cooling, we understand everyone wants prompt, professional service.
Turns out it wasn't my furnace after all, just a little something blocking the vent.
Pretty smart dog if you ask me. For service you can count on, call Barrett Heating and Cooling.
Lennox. Innovation never felt so good.
You won't find a better health club than Nautilus Fitness Center. More cardio, more free weights and equipment, more classes, a swimming pool, and more. If you're serious about your health and want to make a change, then stop thinking about it and visit Nautilus Fitness Center on Industrial Drive in Alton. Don't fall for the hype you get from the other health clubs. Nautilus is the Riverbend's premier health club. Has been for years and will be for years to come. Get to Nautilus Fitness Center and get started on a healthier new you.
DJ Mike Keith. This is where I am today. Let me show you where I started.
Life's better when you're under our roof. That's because our expert agents will make you feel totally protected with the right auto and home coverage at the right price. Also, you can enjoy the dreams you've worked so hard to achieve. American Family Insurance.
For the biggest selection of pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs in the Riverbend, visit AltonToyota.com or stop by their location on the Homer Adams Parkway in Alton. Winner of the prestigious President's Award, Munganast Burkhardt Alton Toyota knows how to treat their customers, and they will help you find the vehicle that is perfect for you. For years, Munganast Toyota has been a fixture in the Riverbend, and now Munganast Burkhardt carries the tradition. New name, but the same great service you've come to expect.
You're listening to Our Daily Show with CJ Nasello on RiverBender.com.
It's a living thing. It's a terrible thing to lose. It's a given thing. What a terrible thing to lose.
Welcome back. 9:15, little bit of change on this Tuesday morning. Gavin O'Brien in studio. Read the article Sydney did. Nice job.
Thank you.
I think you did a great job. Great interview, man. How did Busch Stadium go?
Oh, it was wonderful.
I saw the pictures, man. You guys were decked out and looking great.
Yeah, it was great.
So take me through how you got started in music.
How I got started in music. Okay. Well, way back when I was a little kid in grade school. Well, I've always been into music, but I didn't actually think about being a musician until I was in grade school and I did a project on like Elvis Presley. And it was like a history thing, and then I had to like dress up like it was this thing that the school did, project at Bethalto. And I kind of like fell in love with the music and the process of learning about it, and like I fell in love with like the older music and everything, and that made me want to learn guitar, and I started singing and performing, and I actually started performing a lot of that music when I started out. Like I started out doing like a lot of Elvis stuff and playing in like Memphis and everything.
That's a pretty tough crowd to do Elvis in, you know?
Yeah.
How'd that go for it? Was it pretty well received?
Yeah.
Good, man.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Well, and take me through that. So, you know, as you're growing up and listening to music too, and, you know, you're starting to get an interest in it and, you know, middle school, right?
Yeah.
What did you listen to? Because to me, I was a huge, you know, Elvis guy. I listened to all the music too. I was Elvis and Charlie Pride and, you know, Charlie Rich and all those guys. But for you, was there somebody that kind of really brought a jolt to you in terms of what you could do creating music too?
As far as creating music, I think the biggest inspiration comes from the Beatles. Yeah.
Really cool.
Performing, a lot of that got influenced by Elvis when I was a kid, but when I started writing stuff, it really came from the Beatles.
You know what's wild? A lot of people have even said that same thing where, you know, you never took a note from Elvis when it came to creative genius because that was just all business. But when it came to stage personality, you know, that's what you did. But for music, there's nobody better to look after than and kind of take notes from, you know?
Right.
That's cool. So when was your first official gig? Do you remember it?
My first official gig. Let me see. The first time I ever performed on stage was completely unplanned.
Was it really?
Yeah, it was in Memphis, Tennessee. We were out at Blue City Cafe and never performed before in my life. I don't even think my family knew I could perform yet. But I got up on stage. I asked this band if I can get up on stage and sing with them.
Mm-hmm.
And there's the videos out there. But yeah,
that's
it's
wild.
my very first time ever being on stage performing, and that's kind of where it started. And then my first official show, I think it was a retirement home or something.
Hell
real
yeah,
small,
man, that's cool.
It was real
that's
small.
Cool. Now I gotta ask you, were your family when you go on stage for the first time, are they going, "Oh dear God, oh dear God"?
Oh yeah, I'm sure. Yeah.
What they do. That's cool, man. Well, going forward, how did really everything start to get going for you? When did the wheels start to turn? Because the hardest thing is getting the train to move, and start to just make progress. Yeah. When did that happen for you?
As far as getting the wheels turning, performing a lot, that kind of came early with all those shows I was doing in Memphis and stuff, and contests, doing a lot of Elvis-based stuff. But then when I started branching out to doing my own thing, I started doing a lot of covers of all kinds of other music and other influences, and I started playing at just bars and other venues. And then I started writing music when I got into high school, and I just started releasing stuff a few years ago. Well, probably more than a few years ago now. Around 2020 is when I started really releasing stuff.
Pandemic.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then I started performing my own stuff recently with my new band I have. And they're really great.
I wanted to ask you that because you're doing original stuff now. Mm-hmm. When you're doing a cover, you're doing your version or your interpretation of a song. You kind of know if it sounds good or everything's really clicking. Now with your own pieces that are original that you've never really heard a lot live, how do you really know that, man, that's the sound, that's what we want?
I don't know, because I'm I'll record a song, but then when we play it live, something will be a bit different than the original when I recorded it, but I'll like it still because it brings more life to it for the live sound.
Do you like that raw kind of that raw factor to live performing too?
Oh yeah, definitely.
That's cool, man. Yeah. That's awesome. Well, as you were, I was looking through yesterday. Take me through how the hell your Pocket Full of Rainbows blew up to all heavens, man. I was kind of just going through, and I when I did wrestling and all that, and I still do, but my big claim was in 1 month I had all these interactions, and it was wonderful. But I can say, obviously, I'm humbled now, and that was a lot you experienced. Were you surprised to see that, that thing took off like it did?
Yeah. And that was, you're talking about the
Pocket
cover
Full of
I did.
Rainbows. Yeah. I mean, I saw it. I'm like, how many views does that thing have? It was thousands upon thousands, man.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that was one of many covers that I did that year. In 2020, I was releasing so many videos.
Did COVID help that?
I think so, yeah. Mm-hmm. It really boosted those covers. I think it gave people something to watch and look forward to, I think.
Well, I mean, for you, did it give you some sense of escape, too, from all the craziness? Because it seems like there was a lot of bad with COVID, but there was a lot of good when it came to, personal development and refinement and all of that stuff.
Oh, yeah, 2020, that's when I really started finding myself musically, originally, outside of just doing covers. I was recording lots of covers for YouTube and making these videos, but creatively, that's where I kind of took off, too.
Right on. Mm-hmm. Well, now, looking back on some of the things you first wrote, do you look back and go, man, that was really bad, or man, that was really good?
Sometimes it's both. Sometimes I look back, I'm just like, that's terrible. But then sometimes I look back and I'm like, man, I was writing that at 15.
That's wild,
Right.
So how does the world around you really affect what you write about? Because I'm sure that's a huge factor into a lot of the tone or a lot of the kind of characteristics of what you're writing.
Right. I don't know. I think especially towards the beginning, when COVID and everything, I wrote a lot about unity and things because people were really separated, people were lonely and isolated. So I would write a lot about that kind of topic. So that kind of affected my writing a lot earlier on. I've been writing more about my personal life, things that are going on in my personal life more than world things, but influences come from everywhere. Sometimes I write something that's not even about anything. It's just something I made up just because it fit the vibe of the song.
So I just
made up a story, but then other times it's about somebody I know, or sometimes it's just about something personally. It's I'm talking to someone else, it's just me. But
does that help? You think too?
It's like journaling.
Yeah, that's what I thought. That's kind of cool. Now, I got to ask you, in terms of, going back to Elvis real quick, do you like old Elvis or young Elvis better?
young Elvis.
Really? See, I'm an older guy. I like
Really?
I don't know how he did it all messed up, man. I really don't. You know?
Yeah. Well, yeah. I think it definitely took a lot for him to be able to do that, but it's almost sad. Like.
Yeah, it is sad. But now, do you still play covers? Or are you really focused now on let's get this original material out and let's get the public hearing it?
I'm very hard focused on the original stuff. I'm in another band with some of the guys that are actually in my band, and we do covers and we play
That's
like
cool.
some wineries and things like that. But my main focus is pretty much the original stuff. Yeah, definitely.
Well, and two, I mean, there's nothing harder than really getting the booking train going and finding venues and folks that are reaching out to you. What's the hard part for that? How far out do you look to kind of plan your shows? Because it seems like sometimes it's like a moment's notice you're getting up and going, and then sometimes you have something that's planned for a few months. What are some of the hardships that come with that, and some of the difficulty and good things with that too?
With like booking,
yeah.
Well, some places like this Busch Stadium thing, it kind of just came out of nowhere. Yeah. Just kind of shot our chance and just sent out a message because we heard about the event that was going on, and they were like, "Oh yeah, you'd be great." And it was like next month. I'm like, "Okay, we're playing Busch Stadium."
That's seriously it?
Yeah, that's because they see what you've done, and I guess they like it. And
well,
yeah,
because a lot of times I've seen musicians that are really talented, but it's like they keep going, "I'm not getting any opportunities," and it's like, well, how many emails are you sending out? Keep knocking on that door, I think
that's what it takes. You just gotta take the chance. What's there to lose?
Now, with this, you're your own business manager too. I mean, the band's their own business manager because you guys are, I'm sure, doing things and trying to reach out to folks for
venues
and partnerships and deals and all of that. Are you kind of getting a sense that you're basically your own business owner in this too?
Yeah.
Because I've always kind of been fascinated with that side of things, especially because you guys are, doing this really, you're starting out and you're kicking ass, taking names, but you're still gotten to manage everything too and kind of, staying focused.
Yeah. Yeah, it's difficult. It's definitely, like, of course I have support. Like, I have my dad who helps a lot with, like, finding venues, and he does a lot of, like, he helps with social media and making, like, the video productions that we have out there. But,
shout out to Dad. Hell yeah, that's awesome.
yeah. And then the support with the band and everything. I have a lot of support, but yeah, like trying to balance being a creative artist, but also trying to be a businessman.
Yeah. It's really fascinating how you're all able to do that, because I don't think I could, because it seems like once you start getting into that kind of mentality of we got to hit X, Y, and Z and do all that, it starts to stunt some of the creativity that's going on too. But now take me through the vibe of your bandmates, because there's nothing that's make or break more than the relationship that you have with your band members too. How did that come about? How did you guys get together?
It's a crazy story. Okay, so I think the first person that I have with me in the band would be my bass player. His name's Anthony. Met him. Actually, he's my cousin. I didn't meet him until we were teenagers.
That's awesome.
I found out he's my cousin, and we kind of became like really close friends, like best friends. And then we played music. He started playing bass after we started hanging out.
That's cool.
So, then I met my drummer currently. His name's Phil. I met him in a Beatles tribute band.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
And then we ended up becoming good friends, and we ended up leaving the Beatles tribute band and started doing our own thing with the cover thing. And then he also is a part of my original thing now too. He plays drums. His best friend, his name's Max. He's from the Netherlands. He plays lead guitar in my band, and me and him have also become really close. So we're all really close. And then also my girlfriend is Phil's sister, and she plays acoustic guitar and other guitars, and also does vocals.
That's cool, man. That's awesome. It's
backup vocals.
Well, you got to have that if you're gonna, rehearse all the time. And what's that kind of look like? What's your schedule look like?
We try to rehearse as much as we can. I think for this Busch Stadium show, we only rehearsed once last week.
Are you serious?
Yeah, and it was a funny story because it's like our biggest show that we had coming up, and then we got to rehearsal and we didn't have any power, so we huddled around the drum kit and just sung out loud and just like turned on our amps and just tried to make it blend as much as we could, but it worked out really well still, because we're a really good chemistry.
Yeah.
So I think we make it work easily.
Now, what do you like in your songs? Is there a certain type of sound that you like? Because to me, I always like a little bit of some funk in it. Give me some strings, give me some give me some wind and percussion too. Like let's make this a show and a spectacle for you. What does it? What hits the ears?
I'm always finding new things to do with my music.
That's cool.
Always changing up the genre. I love a lot of my influences come from like the Beatles style, like rock. I also like bands like Oasis and Nirvana and you know, and a lot of modern stuff like Tame Impala, Mac DeMarco, that kind of thing.
That's cool. Yeah.
But yeah, I kind of meshed those sounds together, put my own thing on it. I think, yeah, and I think a lot of definitely like some soul, some to where you can dance to it a bit, but it's still like gritty and rocky. I don't know how to explain it, but
no, I get it because that's kind of how I like it too. Because I don't want something that I'm sitting there and banging my head 100,000 beats a minute, too. But I also like something that's upbeat that has some some taste to it, some spice to it. It keeps you moving and you can sing along to it at the same time too.
Yeah,
that's cool.
Very melodic. I love melody.
Yeah, that's cool.
Melody driven.
Yeah. You got a minute to stick around?
Yeah.
9:28, I got to pay a quick bill, but while I have you, let me fill you in on Alton Little Theater. They're one of our favorites. Alton Little Theater started their 91st season in business. 91 years in a row. They're the oldest, most continuous in the state of Illinois, and one of the oldest and most continuous in the country. Now, the 91st season starts with their Princesses and Princes Cabaret Concert Series. That's May the 31st through June the 8th. But Oliver, the musical, is on stage in August, and they're looking for little ones to audition and be a part of the performances. Their youth acting class is already filled up. I told you to give them a phone call, and you didn't, but hey, there's always next year. You get over to altonlittletheater.org and get your season ticket information for the 91st season, and start it off with that the Princesses and Princes, because Disney's a jerk, cabaret concert, and then you go over into Oliver, Rocky Horror Picture Show. You got to watch that word. That can get you in trouble. And then you got a Christmas Carol, all that fun stuff. Call the box office for ticket information, 618-462-3205. That's 618-462-3205, or altonlittletheater.org, and hang out with Lee Cox and I on the first and last Thursday of the month with Theater Thursday.
When I got in the car accident at the ER, they gave me a prescription of hydrocodone. And over time, it took more medication to mask the pain. I moved over to drug seeking and found heroin and fentanyl. I went to the Centerstone rehab facility, and it was the best decision I ever made in my life. I have my own car. I have a job. There's nothing holding me back anymore.
Dream Home Realty Center.
Hey, Sherry, talk to me, Dream Team.
We've got Joey.
Yo, what up? It's Mike Keith, the proud graduate of Lewis and Clark Community College. I got my start in broadcasting and now I work all over the country. I discovered my path in media, but I could have been an electrician. Or I could have been a nurse.
Maybe not.
We are Phillips 66 Wood River Refinery. We make the fuels that take us to work and our children to school. We make materials and energy products that allow us to stay connected to each other. We care about the quality and safety of our products because we care about the communities we share. Our employees live our values of safety, honor, and a commitment to act as good neighbors where we live and operate. We are Phillips 66.
Welcome back to our daily show. Here's CJ.
Even if they say you're wrong, well, it's alright. Sometimes you gotta be strong.
9:31, welcome back. Gavin O'Brien in studio. So you're playing this Sunday? Bethalto JC's Summer Carnival. Similar.
Something like that.
Yeah. He'll be at the Bethalto Carnival. Now, there's a lot of folks that go to that thing.
Yeah.
Now, how do you guys prepare? Is there like a set list that you guys have for certain venues, for certain audiences? Or are you guys just going out and being yourselves and showing us what you got?
Yeah. It depends on how long the show is. Usually we'll have I have like a long set list, but then we have our shorter set list for like small shows. But this show, it'll actually be both bands that I'm a part of. I have my original band, and then, like I told you, the cover band's Roommate. That's what they're called. They're going to be playing also. So I'm going to be playing all 4 hours of the show, just 2 different bands technically.
That's awesome. That's really cool.
Yeah.
Well, is that fun for you to do too, to be able to kind of, enjoy a little bit of the covers and then, you know?
It's very fun and freeing. You don't feel as like, because when it's my original stuff, like I want to make sure it's tight and right.
Yeah.
It's like you do the same thing with the cover stuff too, but you have a lot more freedom just to kind of have fun and just goof off.
Well, and the audience knows, a lot of those cover songs, I'm sure, too, so you can kind of, let them help you out a bit, too, if anything ever hits the... Now, has there ever been an audio failure from hell?
Oh, yes.
Has there? Okay.
Yeah. Just as showed maybe 2 weekends ago, we were playing, and luckily I was doing this crowd interaction thing, so it happened perfect timing, but the whole audio system shut down. So I had the crowd singing this song while we were trying to get the audio back up and running because like the power circuit cut out or something. I don't know, but just everything cut out, and all the speakers, all the microphones.
Well, like for here, we like in media and all that, we have cameras, so we can go to break at any time, or we can just have something happen, or we can throw up a picture. But you guys got to keep moving. You can't really stop whenever the show's going on.
Right.
Do you have like a group around you that helps set up audio, or is that all you guys that do that?
It's mostly just us guys.
Are you serious?
Yeah, sometimes.
That's cool.
Like some of the parents will help if they're present, or we have a couple roadies like
That's
friends
cool.
that come along sometimes and they'll help out. But yeah, it's mostly just us. Yeah.
Now, what's the plans for the future, man? Are you looking to go anywhere, or is it stay here and then go visit like L.A., New York, and all those, and Nashville and all those places, or is it moving there?
Yeah, I'd love to travel. I don't know what the future brings as far as like where I'm gonna live.
Yeah.
But definitely with my music, I want to take it on the road and travel, get it out there more than just here in the local area. But
for sure.
Yeah.
And what do you think of the music scene around here, though? Are you thinking that do you think that there's a lot of good around here to play at, or you think it's good for right now, but let's keep adding bigger venues? Because I mean, we have an influx of musicians right now. It seems like, but it also seems like too. It's like at a certain point you go, well, we played here a lot, so let's add some new friends to the mix,
Right. It does seem like it's a tough scene because like we're in a strange area of the country, like for music anyway. Like I know St. Louis, I think it was pretty big for music, but I think it's kind of fading out in a way, sadly. But Chicago, we still have that going for us, I feel like, for the music scene, and I think that's kind of where my next step is as far as like where I want to promote and try to get shows. I don't think I want to move up there. Not move, but get the music up there.
Now, is there now I got to ask you, is there a genre you will not play?
I will not play country music.
That's okay. So I knew it. Just look, I'm like, I have a feeling that he's gonna say country music, but I gotta ask this out loud. That's interesting.
I definitely have like my influences from like older country. I mean, like the Beatles, they wrote songs that were kind of like country-y. Like I folky stuff. But like if you turn on the country radio now, you're not gonna hear me playing that.
Yeah, no. Right. I get you. Totally get you. That's cool. And now, what was have you learned? I'm trying to think how to phrase this. So, when you started, you obviously were playing guitar and all that, but was there anything you've learned along the way that you just pick up and play while you're jamming around and you kind of find a love for it that way, like instrument-wise?
Yeah. I've had my fair share of learning like the bass, keyboard, like piano, drums. Like that's what all my music is. Like if you listen to my music on Spotify or wherever, that's all me playing that. Like all those instruments. Yeah,
that's cool, man.
I learned everything, and when I started writing stuff, I was like, oh, I can do this myself in the studio because I didn't have a band when I started recording, so I just did it myself. I was forced to in a way.
That's cool. And see, that's what I think makes you a better musician because you really have to learn all that material. You can't just hope for the best and just find a sample track out there somewhere.
Right.
Now, how easy is it to make music today? Like if obviously you got to have some talent. You can't just start screaming into a microphone and calling it a day. But can you produce some music easier than people think in this with technology?
Yeah, I mean sometimes you can make music with your iPhone with GarageBand, and you can make it sound really good if you know what you're doing.
Can you really?
Yeah.
I always thought that was a joke. I'm like, why is this on my phone? I don't want this.
If you have an ear for it, if you can get the science right, you can make it work. You can make a song.
No kidding.
Yeah, there's an artist, Steve Lacy. That's what he did. I don't know if he still does it, but he's pretty popular. I think like a lot of his music, at least in the beginning, it's all a GarageBand.
That is so wild to me. Just like like people can they'll take like that sound, or they'll take like a weird sound and they'll make it a song. I don't understand how that works either. Have you ever done that yet, where you take something you hear and you're like, man, that sounds kind of cool?
Yeah, I think there's a song on one of my EPs that I released last year, I think, where it's just like a bunch of bathroom noises. Like it's like water running from the sink and then like tapping on the sink with a toothbrush, things like that, just weird stuff.
That's like the coolest thing to me, because like ever since I heard Steven Tyler talking about how he used like the Tic Tacs or whatever for, you know, Sweet Emotion, you know, it was really just a little Tic Tac box. And like hearing Jeff Lynne talk about how he just started writing stuff because he heard like a microwave or heard some, like the telephone, and was like, oh, that sounds good. You know, let's you know, mix that in. Yeah. That's so wild to me. So is that all you've done with it? Just the bathroom sounds, or are there more that you kind of picked up in nature, or just anything else?
Let's see. I've definitely done some like weird alternative things for sounds that I needed. Like for example, right now my studio's in my bedroom, so I don't have room for a drum kit, but I still need a full drum kit sound. So I bring just 2 drums. I have a snare drum and I have my floor tom, and I just use the floor tom as a kick drum. Then I snare, and then the snare, and I do like the basic kick and snare on that. And then I'll overdub with the hi-hat separately, and I'll like pretend play the drums on top of what I record with this to make it sound like it's a full drum kit, and I'll like overdub everything.
That's actually awesome.
Every drum individually where they need to be, instead of doing it all simultaneously.
That's really cool.
So I think that's
awesome.
that's something it's kind of weird that I do, but it works.
Now,
I make it work.
Have you ever just made a song out of nowhere? Because I've heard people go, yeah, we just started playing and it happened. You know, we just were recording and this is how. Have you done that before?
Yeah, definitely. I have
kidding?
I have songs that I'll write in 5 minutes, and then I have songs that I've been working on for a year.
What's the is it frustrating for the year songs, like the ones that take longer? Is it a frustrating process for you, or is it more of an enlightening one?
Sometimes it's frustrating. Sometimes it's like I'll start writing it and then it won't go anywhere, so I'll leave it alone. I'll forget about it. And then I'll go back and listen to like a voice memo I have of it, and I'll be like, oh, I know what I can do with this now. Like I'll be like, maybe it's a good thing that I couldn't finish it then, because or else I wouldn't have had this idea.
That's cool.
To go with it. So yeah, like I've done songs recently that I started writing maybe a long time ago. Like I have songs that I wrote when I was 15 that I didn't record until a couple of years ago.
That's really cool. And you're sitting there going, man, what was I mad about that day? You know? Well, you know, before I let you go here, is there one show that you have that kind of sticks out as one to remember for a while in the last couple of years? Yeah, just one show that you go, man, that was one of the best. Is there one that you kind of look back on?
Yeah, I think yesterday was pretty great.
Was it really?
It was pretty exciting. I sold all the people who came to see it, or tickets I sold, raised like over $3,000 just in tickets for people to come see it. And I felt bad because my set ended up only being 20 minutes, but they had the game included. So, so I was just like, once I found out the set was only 20 minutes, I got a little bit nervous that people were going to feel ripped off.
Did they win yesterday?
Did they win? Oh, yeah.
Thank God, because the way they're playing, it's like, you know, 2 years ago you do that, no problem at all.
Yeah.
But the way the Cardinals are playing the last 2 years, that can get dangerous too if you're like, well, the game's included. Man, F you know, I don't want to see that game, you know.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they won. I'm not sure.
Let's hope so, you know. Well, I'm talking to my sports guy here in a couple of minutes. Let's see. I better be prepared. We'll do this on the fly. They did win 6-3. We're now 5 games under 500, and we're turning the page, man. Come on. Anyway, with that being said, what's the you got a show coming up this Sunday, and where's that again?
That's at the JC Fair in Bethalto.
In Bethalto, what time are you on the stage?
I'm pretty sure it's 3 to 7. If I'm wrong, it's 6 to 9. But
it will be a
3 6 to 10, something like that.
Really cool. And then we have the JC Festival linked on RiverBender. So if you just any one of the days, click on the tab on our event calendar, and it'll take you to their Facebook page and all the music lineups and all that stuff. And then going forward, anything getting released in the next couple of months we need to stay tuned to?
Yeah. I'm working on a lot of new songs right now. I'm hoping to at least have an EP, if not an album.
Cool, man.
Yeah, I have a lot of new stuff.
And how do we find your music?
Gavin O'Brien, Facebook. You can find my Spotify, iTunes. You can follow me on Instagram and Facebook and all those things. But basically, any music streaming platform you can find under my name.
With the exception of DC Glenhammer, who was Whoop the tag team, you have the most Facebook followers I think I've interviewed. Between you and DC Glenn from Whoop, there it is. That's it. Yeah, that's
Nice.
it, man. 44,000 followers. How about that? You can go look up Gavin O'Brien on Facebook. and really Instagram, Spotify, YouTube, and really go out and support, man. This is cool. Best of luck. And anytime you guys have something new coming down the pipeline, any live footage you want to share with us, we'll play it here, we'll air it here, and we'll talk to you about it.
Cool. Awesome.
9:42 is the time on this Tuesday morning, but before we take a quick break, let me fill you in on Denise Sparks Junk Removal and Hauling. You won't believe this. About a year ago, I was out here in the parking lot, and a trash truck driver was picking our trash up. So I stayed on this side of the road just to give him some space. The guy almost backed up into me and then got out of his truck and tried to beat me up and then followed me into this building, okay? And that was one of the big companies' employees. You know, you don't have to worry about that with Sparks Junk Removal. They aren't going to come beat you up. They're just going to give you a big old hug because they're here for their customers. They're here for their community. Whether or not your neighbor's getting ready to report you because your grass is really overtaken that hot tub that's been there for 25 years. You got some just junk scattered across your yard, maybe some broken down car. Called Sparks Junk Removal and Hauling. For 31 years, she's taken care of you, and for the next 31, she's taken care of you in junk hauling and removal, plus weekly trash pickup. You go to sparksjunkremoval.net, see if you're in her service area. You might even save a couple of bucks while you're supporting local. At Sparks Junk Removal, you're never a number. You're always a person, and not just that, you're community, and that's what Sparks loves the most. SparksJunkRemoval.net. Reclaim your space today.
No matter the season, Play It Again Sports in Edwardsville has the gear the athletes need to get in the game. Whether you're shopping for the newest sports equipment or saving money on quality used gear, Play It Again Sports carries what you need to maximize performance to get the most out of every swing, kick, stroke, or shot. We'll even buy your used goods, paying cash on the spot. We carry all the gear for all the sports all year long. We're your hometown sporting goods store. Play It Again Sports. Conveniently located at 4 Club Center Court in Edwardsville.
I just got a new air conditioner. Top of the line.
I bet mine's better. It's so efficient and quiet, I hardly know it's running.
I've got you both trumped. I've got a Linux.
So do I.
Barrett Heating and Cooling carries Linux products to meet any budget. Don't gamble with your energy dollars. Call Barrett Heating and Cooling and start saving today.
Lennox. Innovation never felt so good.
With over 20 years of experience, Wilson's Tree Service has the expertise to handle all of your tree care needs. Licensed and fully insured, their team of experts are dedicated to providing reliable service. Plus, with a 24-hour emergency service line, Wilson's will always be there for you. Don't risk tackling that timber by yourself. Trust the local professionals at Wilson's Tree Service. Visit treeservicealtonil.org to get started today.
Welcome to Evergreen Place, a community that embodies joyful living, independence, and financial freedom for seniors. If you're looking for a full day of activities or to relax in your apartment, we have you covered. Located on the Alton Memorial Campus. To know us is to love us. Experience the difference at Evergreen Place.
Life's better when you're under our roof. That's because our expert agents will make you feel totally protected with the right auto and home coverage at the right price. Also, you can enjoy the dreams you've worked so hard to achieve. American Family Insurance.
Since 1993, Sparks Junk Removal is always adapting to the needs of our clients. That is why we now offer weekly trash pickup for selected areas. Plus, we offer driveway-safe rubber-tired dumpster rental. Give us a call today at 618-781-1407 or visit us at sparksjunkremoval.net.
Not sure if you've noticed, but those advertised prices from the other dealers are just a bunch of blah, blah, blah. At Roberts Motors, the advertised price is the price you pay. And that, my friend, is great news for you. Don't fall for their so-called incentives that will leave you banging your head against the wall. Go with Roberts Motors. Prices you can trust and people you will like. That's the Roberts Motors way. And trust me, it's the way to go.
In the heart-pounding moments of the game, every move counts, just like in chiropractic care. Dr. Andrew Dykman of Rosewood Chiropractic champions this belief, supporting our teams in every drive and supporting his patients for nearly 20 years, offering affordable, compassionate, all-natural wellness care. Call 618-259-2676 or visit rosewoodchiropractic.com today.
Welcome back to our daily show. Here's CJ. Welcome back. 9:48. Hey, now let's just do this. On this date in history, man, I'm losing my voice. In 1881, the American Red Cross founded on this date in history, and then in terms of the Roaring Twenties, in 1927, Charles Lindbergh completed that first solo flight nonstop, the transatlantic one, and landed on this date. In 1927, took off yesterday, made it in 33 hours. In 1932, Amelia Earhart became the first woman to make that solo nonstop transatlantic flight. In terms of exploration on this date in history, in 1542, Spanish conquistador Hernando de Soto dies in the American wilderness. During World War II, in 1942, thousands of Jewish people were deported from the Kelm on this date. In World War II, in 1940, the Nazis began killing unfit people in East Prussia. That happened on this date, May the 21st. During World War I, in 1911, the French troops occupied Fez, sparking the Second Moroccan Crisis. That happened May the 21st, 1911. In presidential history, former President James Garfield's spine was put on display for the final day in the year 2000. That's an interesting one. On this date in the 19th century, black Spanish explorer Esteban is reported killed in 1539. And on this date in art, literature, and film history, soap star Susan Lucci wins the first Emmy after 19 nominations in 1999. In 1960, a huge earthquake hits Chile on this date, May the 21st. And in inventions in science and just really medical history, on this date in 1997, the avian flu struck and killed a young child. In 1992, the Long Island Lolita is arrested on this date. Also, on this date in World War II, the United States drops the hydrogen bomb over the Bikini Atoll in 1956. In 1901, Connecticut enacted the first speed limit law on May the 21st, 1901. And during colonial America, the Lenape tribe abducts Mary Campbell from western Pennsylvania on this date in 1758. On this date in music history, in 2011, Adele was at #1 on the U.S. singles chart with Rollin' in the Deep, taken from her second studio album. The video to the song was nominated for 7 MTV Music Video Awards nominations, and Rolling in the Deep was also the Billboard year-end Hot 100 #1 single of the year. And on February 12th, 2012, Rolling in the Deep received 3 Grammy Awards for Record of the Year, Song of the Year, and Best Short Form Music Video. On this date in 2003, Mariah Carey hit back at Eminem's threats to sample the slushy voicemail messages she left on his mobile phone. Carey described the rapper as, quote, a little girl and like dealing with a girlfriend in the 7th grade, and he shouldn't do it because I'll get him in a bit of trouble with lawyers. That happened on this date in 2003. In 1998, Prince scored his first UK #1 with Love Sexy. The cover, based on a photo by Jean-Baptiste Medino, caused some controversy upon release as it depicts Prince in the nude. Some record stores even refused to stock it or they wrapped the album in black. In 1983, David Bowie went to #1 on the U.S. singles chart with Let's Dance. Might be a known fact to you, but not to some. Guitarist Stevie Ray Vaughan was featured on this song. It was Bowie's first single to reach #1 on both sides of the Atlantic. The music video, made by David Millett on location in Australia, including a bar in New South Wales, featured Bowie playing with his band while and passively watching a Aboriginal couple struggle against the metaphors of Western cultural imperialism. In 1980, a thief broke into the Electric Lady Studios in New York City, the recording studio built by Jimi Hendrix, and stole 5 of Hendrix' gold records for the albums Are You Experienced, Axis Bold as Love, Cry of Love, Rainbow Bridge, and Live at Monterey. On this date in 1979, Elton John started a tour of Russia where he played the first of 8 concerts, making him the first Western star to ever do that very same thing. In 1977, Rod Stewart was at #1 on the UK singles chart with the double A-sided single I Don't Want to Talk About It, and The First Cut's the Deepest, along with the Danny Whitten song I Don't Want to Talk About It, was also a #3 hit for Everything But the Girl in 1988. That's interesting. On this date in 1977, Stevie Wonder started a 3-week run at #1 on the U.S. singles chart with his tribute to Duke Ellington, Sir Duke, his 6th U.S. #1. It also made it to #2 on the UK charts. In 1971, Marvin Gaye released his 8th studio album, What's Going On? The concept album, consisting of 9 songs, tells the story from the point of view of a Vietnam veteran returning to the country he had been fighting for, only seeing hatred, suffering, and injustice. What's Going On is regarded as a landmark recording in pop music history and one of the greatest albums of the 20th century. In 1970, Crosby, Stills, Nash & Young released their protest single, Ohio, written and composed by Neil Young in reaction to the Kent State shootings on May the 4th, when unarmed college students were shot by the Ohio National Guard. The guardsmen fired 67 rounds over a period of 13 seconds. Also, on this date in history, the Castiles in 1966, with Bruce Springsteen on vocals, appeared at Freehold Regional High School in New Jersey. They were performing at their own high school for the very first time, and all 5 band members were actually juniors whenever they took the stage. In 1955, Chuck Berry recorded Maybelline at Universal Recording Studios in Chicago. The song, adapted in part from the Western fiddle tune Ida Red, is said to be one of the first rock and roll songs. The track became Berry's debut single, released in July of that year, where it peaked at #5 on the U.S. chart. Born on this date in history, the notorious B.I.G., Biggie Smalls, he scored the 1997 U.S. #1 single Hypnotized, and of course was gunned down on the 9th of March at the age of 24 in 1997. 3 more albums have been released since his death, and he has sold over 17 million in the United States. And that's about it. That's what happened on this date in history. The time is 9:55, and while I have you, let me fill you in on Grid Solar. You know, they were just on yesterday and hit us with a lot of knowledge in the solar industry, and I just like their personalities. You know, it's great when you have folks that can talk to you in that normal kind of tone of voice. They aren't preaching to you. They're just kind of educating you. They're filling you in on what solar truly is and really helping you make that informed decision. So if you're ready to reduce your energy bills, Grid Solar is here to help you make that switch to solar power. Solar energy is that sustainable and cost-effective solution that benefits both your wallet and our environment. At Grid Solar, they specialize in creating custom solar designs that meet your specific energy needs. Their experienced team is committed to delivering high-quality solar installations and exceptional service. You can visit GridSolarLLC.com to request your free solar design and to find out how solar energy can work for you. Embrace the future of energy with Grid Solar, your trusted solar partner in the Metro East. That's GridSolarLLC.com. GridSolarLLC.com. 9:57, rolling around the top of the hour news next, right after this.
No matter the season, Play It Again Sports in Edwardsville has the gear the athletes need to get in the game. Whether you're shopping for the newest sports equipment or saving money on quality used gear, Play It Again Sports carries what you need to maximize performance to get the most out of every swing, kick, stroke, or shot. We'll even buy your used goods, paying cash on the spot. We carry all the gear for all the sports all year long. We're your hometown sporting goods store. Play It Again Sports, conveniently located at 4 Club Center Court in Edwardsville.
I just got a new air conditioner. Top of the line.
I bet mine's better. It's so efficient and quiet, I hardly know it's running.
I've got you both trumped. I've got a Linux.
So do I.
Barrett Heating and Cooling carries Linux products to meet any budget. Don't gamble with your energy dollars. Call Barrett Heating and Cooling and start saving today.
Lennox. Innovation never felt so good.
With over 20 years of experience, Wilson's Tree Service has the expertise to handle all of your tree care needs. Licensed and fully insured, their team of experts are dedicated to providing reliable service. Plus, with a 24-hour emergency service line, Wilson's will always be there for you. Don't risk tackling that timber by yourself. Trust the local professionals at Wilson's Tree Service. Visit treeservicealtonil.org to get started today.
Welcome to Evergreen Place, a community that embodies joyful living, independence, and financial freedom for seniors. If you're looking for a full day of activities or to relax in your apartment, we have you covered. Located on the Alton Memorial Campus. To know us is to love us. Experience the difference at Evergreen Place.
Life's better when you're under our roof. That's because our expert agents will make you feel totally protected with the right auto and home coverage at the right price. Also, you can enjoy the dreams you've worked so hard to achieve. American Family Insurance.
Since 1993, Sparks Junk Removal is always adapting to the needs of our clients. That is why we now offer weekly trash pickup for selected areas. Plus, we offer driveway-safe rubber-tired dumpster rental. Give us a call today at 618-781-1407 or visit us at sparksjunkremoval.net.
Not sure if you've noticed, but those advertised prices from the other dealers are just a bunch of blah, blah, blah. At Roberts Motors, the advertised price is the price you pay. And that, my friend, is great news for you. Don't fall for their so-called incentives that will leave you banging your head against the wall. Go with Roberts Motors. Prices you can trust and people you will like. That's the Roberts Motors way. And trust me, it's the way to go.
In the heart-pounding moments of the game, every move counts, just like in chiropractic care. Dr. Andrew Dykman of Rosewood Chiropractic champions this belief, supporting our teams in every drive and supporting his patients for nearly 20 years, offering affordable, compassionate, all-natural wellness care. Call 618-259-2676 or visit rosewoodchiropractic.com today.
Welcome back to our daily show. Here's CJ.
Peace of mind, 'cause you make me feel. You make me feel. You make me feel like a natural woman.
10:01, welcome back.
When my soul
Going to be talking to Luis here in a couple of minutes or so. Looking forward to that. But the time is 10:01, and now it's time to take you to what's happening around the River Bend. Top of the hour news now on our daily show. And we'll start off in Jerseyville. Rock the Block, a beloved summer tradition in Jerseyville, is back this year. Local recording artist Maddie Show will kick off the event Friday, May the 31st from 6 to 9 p.m. in City Center Park. After several years, Maddie is returning home to perform, currently in the midst of recording her debut solo album with Compass Records in Nashville. She is eager to share her new music, written and or co-written, with her fiancé, with family, and with friends. The Riverfront Times has praised her upcoming album for showcasing her versatile Americana styles. Rock the Block continues throughout the summer with performances by Porch Cafe, Tanglefoot, and Jake Maurer. For more details, you can contact Will Strang at the City of Jerseyville. Also in the news, as temperatures rise, the Illinois Department of Public Health is alerting residents to the heightened risk of rabies, particularly from bats. Here's the latest. Since May 10th, 2 rabid bats have been discovered in homes in Cook and Will counties, testing positive for the disease. The IDPH director, Samir Vorha, emphasized the importance of preventative measures against rabies, fatal but preventable disease. Residents are advised to avoid wild animals, ensure pets' rabies vaccinations are current, and consult animal control. If bats are found indoors, rabies can spread through bites or saliva, making prompt medical attention crucial, so please be aware. Also in the news in Alton, during the recent committee of the whole meeting, Alderman Raymond Strable sought an update from Mayor Goins regarding the ongoing situation with Studio 420. The business, previously known for selling nicotine products to minors, is currently under investigation and civil asset forfeiture. Despite the controversy, Studio 420's business license remains active. Alton Police Chief Ford confirmed that both investigations are still pending and discussions are ongoing, and City Attorney Rodney Caffey emphasized that the matter is legally sensitive and measures are being taken. Mayor Goins assured the appropriate steps are in progress. For a full write-up on the committee of the whole meeting with the City of Alton, you can visit RiverBender.com/video to watch it in its entirety, and a full write-up is on RiverBender.com/news. At 10:04, Kate Martin is shining in her WNBA debut with the Las Vegas Aces. Edwardsville's Kate Martin has made that memorable debut for the Aces on Saturday afternoon, contributing a three-pointer in the team's 89-82 victory over the Los Angeles Sparks at Michelob Ultra Arena. Martin played for 26 minutes, scoring 1 of 4 from the field and 1 of 3 from beyond the arc, while also adding 5 rebounds and 3 assists. The Aces, who are 2-time defending WNBA champions, improved to 2-0 on the year. They continue their season opener homestand with games against the Phoenix Mercury, and Martin will be seeing her old teammate at Iowa, Caitlin Clark, on Thursday as the Aces take on the Indiana Fever. That's a look at what's happening around the River Bend. Let's take a quick check at your weather. It's 80 degrees. It's going to be humid out there and hot today. It feels like 84 today. Partly sunny, windy, hot, and humid. You better stay hydrated if you're outside today in this heat. Tonight, overcast, humid with a few strong thunderstorms potentially in the area. Breezy this evening. Now, just be mindful as these thunderstorms can bring flooding downpours, hail, damaging wind gusts, and even an isolated tornado. Air quality today is good. However, grass is low, mold is low, ragweed low, tree moderate, and pollen, and that UV index is very high, so put on some sunscreen if you're going out. Temperatures reach 91 degrees today. They drop down to 61 overnight as we head into Wednesday. On Wednesday, a high of 73, a low of 58 degrees with a 65% chance of thunderstorms. On Thursday, a high of 78, a low of 67, a 90% chance of thunderstorms. On Friday, a high of 81, a low of 58, and a 98% chance of those thunderstorms as well. On Saturday, the 25th of May, a high of 76, a low of 60 degrees, and at least, well, you get a break in the rain before I come in to town on Sunday. With that being said, time and temperature throughout the day, give this phone number a ring, 618-465-4545, this time powered by Tom Lane, your local State Farm agent. And, well, I have you. Let me fill you in on... Oh, I'm almost done. Let me fill you in on Holmes Outdoor Services. Ethan Holmes is a hard worker, and he's really doing some great stuff. What he's doing for my grandma right now and just making sure we had a really bad experience with the old company, just a terrible one, and it was time. It was just like, let's just move on and find a new one. Well, easier said than done in summer when everyone's already busy and, yards need to be cut, and we had that monsoon for 2 weeks and the grass was 3 feet high. Ethan went out there multiple days and made sure that grass was looking good. Had to cut it 5 times, and I'm telling you what, it hasn't looked that good in years. And I think it's just because of the fact that there's a little bit more attention to detail there. And, Ethan doesn't just do cutting grass. I mean, we're talking hardscape and landscaping work. He is really good at what he does, and what I like is he's always going to talk to you on the phone, get to know you a little bit, and he's going to be honest about the task that's in front of him. In landscaping, sometimes you never know what you're going to run into until you put that shovel in the ground, and he's up front and really honest when it comes to all that type of stuff. Now, right now, he's offering 10% off when it comes to hardscape and landscape jobs. Now through Memorial Day, you got 9 days to call him. But even if you don't call him in the 9 days, call him in the future. Call him in the summer when you got that yard work that you need done, but it's 105 degrees, and then you don't really want to go out there and battle the elements. Ethan Holmes has, he will, and he'll do it again. Holmes Outdoor Services on Facebook. That's Holmes Outdoor Services on Facebook. And when you give Ethan a chat, just make sure you tell him that CJ sent you over his way. I was having a conversation the other day about just how the year's going by. And, before I take a quick pause here, a big shout out to the small but mighty team of Riverbender, because, I've been out and about, and my family is too, and I always get kind of reports on what you guys think we're doing, and it's really cool to hear so much positive stuff. And, it's kind of funny. I was pulling up some numbers just because I was looking at an ad campaign, and it's pretty cool when, Riverbender's delivering all these results, and, major media companies across the pond, I call it the pond, across the river, aren't really keeping up with us, and it shows that we're really here and dedicated for you. So if you're somebody out there that's a small business owner that really doesn't know where to start, we can help you a lot here. There's things that our team can do that no one else can do in Alton in the Riverbend area, and there's things that we can do at a way more affordable rate than what a media company in St. Louis is going to charge you. I hate to be honest with you, but those are just the facts of life. I used to work over in that market, and I know how expensive and how crazy it is. At RiverBender.com, folks, we can help you reach as many people as you want without breaking the bank and finding something that really fits your budget and the needs of your growing business. At Riverbender, we're a small, locally owned business too, and we're here to help you with anything you need. Whether or not you have an event that you want to promote and make sure that the whole public wants to know about it, that's where you call me, because I happen to be one of the event specialists. Or if you have some work on your website that you need, call Mike and Ashley right here today, and we'll be ready to help you, talk with you, give you a consult, and talk about what you need. Maybe some SEO work. We got you covered. Maybe some video work. We got you covered. Maybe some just display ads. We got you covered. All of those things that those major companies offer, your hometown daily dose of local does too, and we can deliver better results. I'll say it right here on this show, and I think at a fraction of a cost. So give us a call today if you're looking to get the word out there about your business, about your event, or anything else you're working on. That's 618-465-9850. That's 618-465-9850. Give us a call. We're looking forward to speaking with you right here at RiverBender.com. We'll take a quick break, but before I do, let's take a look at Skycam. We'll come back with more of our daily show right after this on Riverbender.
No matter the season, Play It Again Sports in Edwardsville has the gear the athletes need to get in the game. Whether you're shopping for the newest sports equipment or saving money on quality used gear, Play It Again Sports carries what you need to maximize performance to get the most out of every swing, kick, stroke, or shot. We'll even buy your used goods, paying cash on the spot. We carry all the gear for all the sports all year long. We're your hometown sporting goods store. Play It Again Sports, conveniently located at 4 Club Center Court in Edwardsville.
I just got a new air conditioner. Top of the line.
I bet mine's better. It's so efficient and quiet, I hardly know it's running.
I've got you both trumped. I've got a Linux.
So do I.
Barrett Heating and Cooling carries Linux products to meet any budget. Don't gamble with your energy dollars. Call Barrett Heating and Cooling and start saving today.
Lennox. Innovation never felt so good.
With over 20 years of experience, Wilson's Tree Service has the expertise to handle all of your tree care needs. Licensed and fully insured, their team of experts are dedicated to providing reliable service. Plus, with a 24-hour emergency service line, Wilson's will always be there for you. Don't risk tackling that timber by yourself. Trust the local professionals at Wilson's Tree Service. Visit treeservicealtonil.org to get started today.
Welcome to Evergreen Place, a community that embodies joyful living, independence, and financial freedom for seniors. If you're looking for a full day of activities or to relax in your apartment, we have you covered. Located on the Alton Memorial Campus. To know us is to love us. Experience the difference at Evergreen Place.
Life's better when you're under our roof. That's because our expert agents will make you feel totally protected with the right auto and home coverage at the right price. Also, you can enjoy the dreams you've worked so hard to achieve. American Family Insurance.
Since 1993, Sparks Junk Removal is always adapting to the needs of our clients. That is why we now offer weekly trash pickup for selected areas. Plus, we offer driveway-safe rubber-tired dumpster rental. Give us a call today at 618-781-1407 or visit us at sparksjunkremoval.net.
Not sure if you've noticed, but those advertised prices from the other dealers are just a bunch of blah, blah, blah. At Roberts Motors, the advertised price is the price you pay. And that, my friend, is great news for you. Don't fall for their so-called incentives that will leave you banging your head against the wall. Go with Roberts Motors. Prices you can trust and people you will like. That's the Roberts Motors way. And trust me, it's the way to go.
In the heart-pounding moments of the game, every move counts, just like in chiropractic care. Dr. Andrew Dykman of Rosewood Chiropractic champions this belief, supporting our teams in every drive and supporting his patients for nearly 20 years, offering affordable, compassionate, all-natural wellness care. Call 618-259-2676 or visit rosewoodchiropractic.com today.
Welcome back to our daily show. Here's CJ. Welcome in. Daily show hitting you on a Tuesday, and we're waiting to talk to Lou Weiss. But hey, I wanted to fill you in on this, and it's something that Hopefully I'll be able to talk about, there's Luis. Hopefully I'll be able to talk about a little bit more, but just a brief update on this. The Illinois State Police have conducted a violent crime suppression detail from the 15th of May through the 17th in St. Clair and Madison counties, and it focused on efforts on the East St. Louis and neighboring Metro East communities. Now, here's what we know. The operation utilized intelligence and technology to target known high-crime areas, violent offenders, and structured criminal groups in the communities of the Metro East. Now, here are the detailed results. There were 34 arrests, 39 felony charges, 64 criminal charges, 30 firearm-related charges, and 15 firearms seized, along with about 6.5 grams of a controlled substance. But wanted to give you a brief update as that just came into the picture. Luis is on the Zoom, and let's give him a quick little gander over here. Let's see how we're doing today. Luis, hit me with it. The Cardinals, 5 games under 500. Let's forget about Sunday against Boston, and let's just keep trying.
Yeah, the Cardinals are coming through a lot. Now, you said it right there, too. It's 5 games under 500. They have played good baseball so far in the past 10 days, but there's still 5 games under 500. That's the hole they're trying to dig their way up. And yesterday was a good step forward. Again, Sonny Gray pitched marvelous until he just got tired after that 38 pitch inning, actually. I think he did almost double his pitches in one inning in that inning. But again, the Cardinals are doing what they're supposed to. It's just set the tone early. Like, again, the Orioles, they're the big team from the AL East right now. It's not the Yankees. It's not the Red Sox. It's the Orioles. The Orioles are in the lead in that division, and they have a great offense. Not a good offense, a great offense.
Oh, 100%.
And Sonny Gray mowed them down, and then the bullpen did their thing again. And I think one of the keys to that game, to that win, wasn't only the pitching, but it was getting the lead and setting the tone early.
So, by the way, thanks for matching me today. Also, did see that? We're matching.
Yeah, we're matching.
Anyway, did you ever have on your bingo card that Michael Ciani would carry the Cardinals for the first month of the season?
No, but what a story, right?
Right. I just can't get over this guy.
This is a guy that did well on spring training, was left off the roster by just 1 or 2 spots. Injuries happened to Dylan Carlson, and he got called up for the first series in LA. And he hasn't been sent down again, and that's the thing. He's a good guy, good hitter. His story's great. Like his background's great. Again, family had to do everything for him just to play baseball in high school, and he took a scholarship from one former MLB player in LA and ran with it in high school. So this is just a great story, great kid. But again, Michael Ciani is not only great at the bat, defensively he's good too.
Yeah.
Again, they found a diamond in the rough, and this is a guy that they signed. He was in San Diego last year, and now he's St. Louis this year.
Well, another thing too that's kind of a positive this morning is I saw Katie Wu said that Middleton and Gallegos are doing pretty well in their recovery. So hopefully that adds to the bullpen. But can I please ask you why in the hell Matthew Liberatore is starting? Like I'm not sure.
Cardinals will have a number 5.
But they just
that's it.
But they told the guy, listen, man, we don't need you as a starter this year. They told him that in spring. They said, that's it. Go to the bullpen. And I just think that the messaging has got to get better from the front office all the way down to, John Mozeliak's messaging to those players, because Marmol's just really kind of there waving. So, we got to have better messaging, because you can't tell a guy to prepare for something and then just completely like Contreras last year. You're our catcher getting paid $80 million. Now go play left field.
No, true. You got a point there. But again, when your boy CM Matz gets injured, and the Cardinals will have a 5th pitcher in the rotation, they go to a guy that has a little bit of starting experience. That's Matthew Liberatore. It's not an ideal situation, because Matthew cannot go how long you can, and then he's being asked 2 days later to be in the bullpen, right?
Right.
So it's a weird situation all in all, but Again, it's just he's the next guy up. You're not gonna use because Zach Thompson should have been that guy, but Zach Thompson is finding his velocity right now in AAA.
Yeah. Well, I just wish I knew what Matt's had on Mosaic. I really do. I mean, that guy has to have the secrets of this organization. Just amazing. Now, with that being said, the big topic of my conversation with you today, Luis, is the laziness of the uniform designers for the St. Louis Cardinals. I hate this jersey. I absolutely despise the City Connect jersey. Nothing, to me, it was just like, we don't really want to do this, so how do we do it? Let's just, okay, here's the little flag, and let's put the arch on a badge, and, what if we put some, waves in it and made it look like a 1980s penny you'd wear during PE class? Yeah, that sounds good. Let's throw that in there. And what about those terrible letters from the 30s because they didn't know how to screen print yet? Oh, yeah, well, throw those in there, too. That sounds good. Well, it has nothing to do with St. Louis. It has a very...
It's just the Lou on the front.
I get it, but I mean, in terms of that and the arch, that's about it. I was expecting, some cool, type of mural. Have some fun with this. I mean, you got to have something to bring the fans in to see.
Well, they went... I think that the reaction from... Not the players will say that it's great, whatever, but
Right.
The reaction from people around, I know, is it's fine. It doesn't offend anybody.
Yeah.
Right? Again, but then the complaints or they say they shouldn't done it okay, instead of going with the traditional red color, go with a brick color that it's in the stadium, that maroon reddish type one.
Yeah.
That's cool. Maybe use another blue, not a baby blue or navy blue, maybe a blues from the blues used to honor the blues, jazz, the music history
Yeah.
of St. Louis.
You know what I was...
Use the fleur-de-lis a little bit more, right? Instead of just and then there's another hat. There's an alternate hat.
Oh.
Instead of saying SDL, it has the fleur-de-lis and a little bit just SDL in the middle, and that looks great too, right? Again, that has the alternate hat was way better than the primary hat.
But I have a question. There was one hat I saw that had a huge chunk taken out that looked like a pothole. I didn't know if that was going to be used or not.
It's like whenever the Cardinals did that giveaway. Do you remember the giveaway I'm talking about Yali and Wainwright?
Yes.
No, wait, that doesn't seem like it's Yali and Wainwright. It seems like this is a crime in progress, actually.
Right. Well, so my thought was I don't care about uniforms because, quite frankly, they don't mean anything. Unless.
In my way, a lot of people were actually buying the merchandise yesterday. The team store was full whenever it opened at 2 p.m. or 12 noon with all the merchandise.
Wow, hell froze over.
Maybe the unpopular opinion is the less travel, right?
No, you're right. On this, I'm definitely on an island. I am totally on an island on this. But here was my thought. I thought, how cool would it be? You take the St. Louis Blues legends. You even take some of the Rams players like, Steven Jackson. You put their numbers somewhere highlighted like a watermark on the jersey. You kind of bring that in. You bring some of the taste of St. Louis in. But no, slapping an old, create a jersey from the Nike ID store together was cool. I think it'll be fun. How are these jerseys holding up when you talk to these guys seriously? Because this is a nightmare for so many players around the league that this was the worst decision made in baseball for decades. Is that true?
Well, I don't know if in decades. I think there's more decisions there, but MLB had to eat crow again it had to be about a month from now. I think they announced that they're going to make changes, but the changes will be reflected next season.
Oh, God.
So the uniforms are what it is. Again, and then there's going to be small change, or I think there will be small changes already that the players don't mind now. But again, it's there was a week that in Detroit, a guy slid. Again, hard slide, but again, people slide hard all the time. It's just pants just got demolished.
Well,
and then the next day I was watching the Cardinal game. I remember this because it was what is going on. Lansing throws a pitch, and it's so hard that his belt said hell no again.
That's a wake-up call. Well, all I know is this too, Louise. I was watching a starting pitcher in Oakland, and he literally sweat through his jersey so bad that he had to walk back to the clubhouse, put on a new jersey, and go back out there and continue pitching. If I'm a manager...
That happened again. That happens all the time, even with old jersey. Again, Miles Michaelis, again, it's a profound sweater, and a hot day in St. Louis, you're changing jerseys 3-4 times.
Yeah, but not like this. I mean, this is like literally a little penny you're putting on. I mean, they took something you didn't need to change and they changed it. I just don't understand this. And they look terrible. They look cheap as hell. And the guy is in the third inning soaking through a jersey in Oakland. During spring. That's where I have to raise my hand and go, this is not the technology you told us about, and now it's another distraction on the field.
Yeah, no, true, and again, the uniforms. Again, at least the Cardinals of all the again here talking about uniforms which again, at least the Cardinals have their traditional look still with this new uniform, so that's a little bit of a win for them. They don't have the patch art like stitched on. No, they have the embroider and whatever. So yeah, it's not like you're putting a piece of tape in the middle that says, "Hey, St. Louis Cardinals."
Mm-hmm. Right. And so I don't know, maybe that's just my complaint, because it's like, all the things we need to do to baseball, the jersey was the least of our concern, and it's like it's overtaken at least a 25% portion of the news that goes into baseball this year.
When Nike pays a lot of money to do it, Nike can do whatever they want, right? And they figure, okay, we have to put our stamp here instead of just a swoosh. We need to put our design, our dry fit, blah 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 blah, and then you got this.
Yeah, then you got a plastic bag that has red dye on it. So going forward, as we're talking soccer here a little bit, St. Louis City did not play that well last weekend. Am I correct on that? Am I remembering correctly?
No, you remember correctly. They went to Cincinnati FC on Saturday and 3-1. And before that, they hosted LAFC and lost.
Where are we at in the season? I mean, is it to the point where they better pack the wagon and start thinking about next year?
No, because again, you think this Cardinal season is long and long and long. This season again.
That's right. I always do that. I forget
the playoffs are in October again. We're gonna play again. Playoffs are in October, so again, they can. This is a little bump in the road they're in now. Again, it can be better. They have better start playing better now, or at least start tying games like they used to. But season ends in October? The regular season ends the first week of October probably. It's not the last week of September. If you make it to the finals, congratulations. You have to do Thanksgiving, and then the next week is the championship game.
I forgot about that. I always forget about that season being ridiculously just stupid. Then you got to go back to spring training like a month after you win. That's really a break. So going forward, I mean, if you talk to the guys, are they feeling like down about the season? Are they still hungry for it? What's the thought in the St. Louis City locker room?
No, again, they're still hungry for it. Again, that they just faced two teams are better, right?
Yeah.
And it was going to be a good test for them to see where they're at. And right now they're not at where they're supposed to be. Again, they beat a Chicago Fire team that was bad, right? That Chicago Fire team is bad.
Yeah, terrible.
And the win was great because it was a win at City Park. So you take 3 points anywhere you can.
Yep.
And it's like, okay, let's see if the momentum starts going and going and going. And it's not the team is playing bad per se, but they're not playing a full 90 minutes, right? They're playing maybe an 85 minutes of great soccer, 80 minutes of great soccer, of good soccer, and then there's a slip up.
Yeah.
And with these teams in the MLS, the top teams, you slip up, they're going to take advantage.
Well, exactly, and that's just the way it goes. So we'll see what happens going forward, but now we have time to talk about this. All right. Now making his way, teeing off on the 10th hole, the convict, Scheffler. How do you like his new entrance? I think that's how they end.
Four, please. It's better than the four, please. Like in Augusta, it's like instead of and now on the tee in Augusta National, Scotty Scheffler. No, it's like 4, please. Scotty Scheffler on the tee. It's like, oh wow, that's being graded.
What the heck happened? I woke up to like the most ridiculous thing on my feed. I was seeing this guy getting arrested. So I gotta ask you, because you probably know more about, at least learned a little bit more about. Did the cop grab onto the door handle as this guy drove away, or did he get like snagged in the process and get drugged for a little bit?
So when the police reported, and that's a good question because I still don't know, right? I guess the cop attached himself to the vehicle. You say, oh, so he grabbed the door handle, and Scotty was still confused, and there you went.
Right.
And so again, it was again, and again, I was in shock too because again, it's like of everybody in that field, everybody in the golf world, the most least person I would expect to hear he has been detained and arrested and booked and released with felony charges.
Yep.
It's Scotty Scheffler.
Yeah.
Because he is the most boring person on that tour.
He looks boring. You know, I mean, just looking at the guy, it looks like. But now imagine this. Here's my thought for you today. If this was anybody other than a golfer set to tee off, would they have been in and out in like 15 minutes or an hour, however long? Because that's where I kind of have my problem with this. Like, God forbid this was like the head grounds crew, you know, someone like that really is not on TV or not famous, you know, and this didn't blow up in Barstool Sports World and ESPN in the 30 minutes it did. I don't think they're coming back for tee time.
Well, it's a good question because, again, what Scotty says is that, first of all, the officer that made the arrest didn't know who they actually arrested.
Man, that's a humble notion.
One of the reporters said, it's like he got asked on the scene. It's like, wait, who do we really arrest? No, Scotty Scheffler, the number 1 ranked golfer in the world.
Yeah.
And then Scotty says that he is in jail. And then he's like, it's surreal for him because he is seeing himself getting arrested on the TV on ESPN.
That's great. Well, and you know, they said they're going to drop these charges or whatever, and it was a big misunderstanding. But it's like, you know, if just, you know, picture this, you know, like Sophia and the Golden Girls. Would this, if it was, you know, head groundskeeper CJ Nasello that did this, would I still be, you know, going through the ringer trying to get out of this mess? You know, maybe media help. I think media helped a big time, big in this.
Well, I think the bigger question here that we have to decide, and I get it, chaotic scene, there's a dead person on scene, whatever,
terrible. Yeah,
training,
terrible.
but it's like there's some, again, and this is not, and it's not me bashing the cops. I actually like the cops and whatever, but there's some cops that have this power trip.
Well, and I'm not even going to go with that today. I think it was just...
No, this guy, and I talked to a couple of my cop buddies that day, and he's like, yeah, but what happened is he got a power trip, got zoned out, and he wasn't taking no for an answer.
You know, I won't go that far. I think it was just a stressful situation, and I'll leave it at that.
No,
power
true,
trip's
again,
too much.
But again, there's a stressful situation because, and then Scotty says too, and this is backed by the reports too. Scotty was being helped by other cops. Like he say, hey, I need to get to the golf course. Can I go here? Can I go there? And the cops were, yeah, go here, whatever, you're good. Again, he is marked. Again, the car said a PGA, the official car of the PGA Championship. So again, he's in a marked car, and I know this for a fact because of working these major events. Security is told, the cops are told, if it's a marked vehicle from the league or the event, they have special passes, right? So they can move in here. Again, if you need them to go in our area because there's an accident or whatever, they will tell them, right? So it's just, I think that's a bigger, again, because again, if it happened to you and I, if it happened to the groundskeeper, if it happened to the reporter, if it happened to blah, 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 do they get out of jail? Yes.
Right.
Do they get out of jail in an hour and 15 minutes, an hour and a half? Probably not.
I don't think so. And that's what my point was. It wasn't really a right or wrong, and it seemed like a whole big misunderstanding. But, you know, the good thing was to go out there, you know, that everyone in the world is going to be watching your first, you know, hole back from jail. And so you're walking out there, and at least he didn't, like, double bogey or quadruple bogey the first hole back on the tournament that day. And thank God he went out and birdied right away. Now, it would have been better if he won, but the guy that won this, because I'm not a big golf watcher, this was kind of like a cool moment, wasn't it? This was 22 times in the tournament, and he wins the first time in 22. Is that true? Am I onto something here?
No, yeah, so again, Sandon Shoffley is your main PGA Championship winner. The thing is, again, it's a record for lowest score on the PGA on a major tournament. So again, he breaks the all-time low score for a winner on a major championship. And this is a guy that even last week he had the lead, but again he had this I don't know what's the word to say, but every time he had the lead on the weekend, he didn't held it, and again, he was known for being a choker, right?
Right.
So it was good for him to break out and actually win a tournament, a major tournament, and go wire to wire, basically, because he tied. Sorry about that. There was a mosquito on me.
He
tied the all-time, again, the course record. No, he broke the course record on Thursday and never let off the pedal. Again, yes, you had Scheffler on Friday after being in Yale, shooting at 66, by the way. That's just insane.
It is. That's incredible. Good for him.
You got Bryson DeChambeau from the Live Golf just smacking the ball and playing his best golf too, and actually making it tight there at the end, tying the tournament and telling Scheffler basically with his performance on Sunday, you better shoot a low number, and Scheffler did it. And again, he won that tournament on the last hole. If he missed that putt, that was going to be a playoff. So it was going to be 3 more holes of golf.
That's just
again, it was an exciting tournament to watch, obviously for a lot of reasons. But I think the PGA, any major championship, and they will not say it, but I know they're saying it behind the scenes. They don't want the winner. They don't want like a course that you cannot say, oh, there's no bogeys out there. And that's what happened specifically on Sunday. There were no bogeys out there. So if you did the math, is because Scottie Scheffler did his thing, he was gonna do it. He was gonna win. Because there were no holes that were like, oh, if you miss this here, misses there, you would be lucky with a bogey, right? So that's why I think, for me, the next major tournament is the best of them all, is the U.S. Open, because the U.S. Open wants their players to fail. They want their players to say, I just shot a 1-over round,
yeah,
and I'm happy with it. That was it.
Wow. Well, and now, so that is the first major title win of Scheffler.
For Sander, yeah.
Yeah. And now, with that being said, I also saw that his dad, I mean, it was a really cool story on how his parents kind of found out he won. His dad was on a shipping container, like, in Hawaii or somewhere whenever he called him. Like, that was really cool, too, to see that, you don't forget your roots, and just to know where he kind of came from is really cool, too, to see. Going forward, have you had a chance to talk to any of the Cardinals, not really off the record, but just off the camera a little bit about how they're feeling heading into June? Because, I mean, now they're starting to play better as we wrap up and kind of go back to what we talked about the first time around this horn, but they're starting to play better. They're starting to, kind of not look the best, but they're getting results. They're powering through it. Is there like some morale increases at all, or is it just, let's just keep moving forward and forget about how we're feeling? Ask us in July.
Yeah, again, that's the mood right now. We're playing better. They're playing better.
Okay.
The mood in the clubhouse is there's those shrugged shoulders like it was at this time last year. Right?
Okay, that's what I was curious about.
Even Wilson is saying like, yeah, I'm in progress to be back here soon. Like he's like, again, it's like, I'm like, dude, just make sure the doctor clears you before you catch with that hand again.
Right.
But again, Wilson likes how the way the team is playing with his absent, and it's just all around. Again, there was a lack of leadership last year,
100%.
And the leadership is here. And the guys, our leaders are Sonny Gray, Kyle Gibson. Kyle Gibson is a great dude. He's a good leader. I see him motivate guys. Yes, hey, okay, cool. Let's go on to the next one. And this week is very important for the Cardinals.
It is.
Because,
It's
again,
huge.
They win one of the next two. They got the series win against the Orioles, and then you host the Cubs for the weekend, and then you go on a road trip. That yes, you start in Cincinnati, and that's a winnable series. But then you get tested again when you go to Philadelphia.
Right. Big time.
So again, this next stretch of baseball will be important. This for the Cardinals right now, it's their final season, and right now it's saving their season in a good way.
So I don't know if you saw this too before I let you go. Last time I talked to you last week, I mentioned is Nolan Arenado getting traded. Well, guess what I saw right after we got done talking? Like 4 or 5 articles Thursday and Friday and Saturday about the potential. Is he staying or going this year? I'm not saying they listen to it from us, but I'm saying now that the question's becoming more apparent. And your thoughts are, Luis, this week?
If the season goes like I think it's going to go, he's not going to get traded.
Good answer. I like that.
I think they're going to be a contender. Again, I think they're going to be in it in the wild card, that it's going to be difficult for them to sell.
Uh-huh.
And then you're just going to do the normal thing and just, add a little bit here, a little bit piece there. But right now, as I see it, they're not selling anything. Because remember, they're 5 games under 500, but they're 2.5 games out of the wild card.
That's true.
And again, I'm one of those people like Mike Claiborne, talk to me on Flag Day for the standings, but that's just what it is.
Well, and that's a good point. So I like it. Luis Noya, on the 21st of May, the Cardinals will be contenders. I like it. That's a good point.
Here's the thing. Remember my prediction whenever I talked to you early in the season?
Hell, I don't even know what I had for breakfast, man.
I remember this because I think it's still true. Yeah, they're going to be contenders. They're going to be in the race with the wild card, maybe the division. I think they're still going to end up finishing third.
There you go. I like it. We'll hold it there. And, as long as they just, don't make me depressed like last year, this time around, I'm fine.
Here's the thing. I'll text you whenever CMS is activated from the IL.
You know what I did learn last year, though, is that I can have about 4 of those tall boys before I start to feel like I've had too much baseball at that Busch Stadium. Because of
Here's the thing. That's a good idea.
Yeah, just get up and keep moving,
About 3 years ago, I found out, and this is not for baseball watching, whatever. So if you got a toothache, about 4 Coronas in, it starts to numb the tooth.
There we go. Some dental work today from Luis.
Oh yeah. We're getting hot takes, golf takes, dental advice, everything.
And I'm leaving for Vegas tomorrow and feeling good. So with that being said, Hainer Library. You got to talk about him real quick and take care of a little bit of business. Hainer.
What a transition. Wow. Not even Jennifer Blome can do that transition.
Send this one to her. Let her see this one. Hainer Library is a door. It's a door to learning, education, knowledge, and discovery, where you can discover your family's roots in genealogy, local history. You can have fun with all these events at Jacoby Art Center, the concerts, the take-home science kits, the Teen Advisory Council. There's a plethora of different activities. Plus, Luis, you can learn how to write your own obituary coming up in June in one of their classes. It's already filled up, so we're doing it again. Listen, at Hainer Library, you need your card to unlock ad-free, for free streaming with Biblio Plus, and the opportunity to unlock all those consumer reports, resource guides. And if you're a student, Luis, is Google always right?
For the most part.
Not when it comes to research papers, it's not, because you need to have
No.
Exactly.
You have to hit the books.
Exactly. And at Hainer Library, their resource center for all you students out there, they have a one of those citation tools where you don't have to do the hard work. It takes care of it for you, and you know what information you're getting. You're getting it good. Get signed up for that summer reading program by going to HainerLibrary.org. That's HainerLibrary.org. And don't forget to tell them that you know who sent you over there. Luis, I'll talk to you later on this week.
See ya.
See ya.
No matter the season, Play It Again Sports in Edwardsville has the gear the athletes need to get in the game. Whether you're shopping for the newest sports equipment or saving money on quality used gear, Play It Again Sports carries what you need to maximize performance to get the most out of every swing, kick, stroke, or shot. We'll even buy your used goods, paying cash on the spot. We carry all the gear for all the sports all year long. We're your hometown sporting goods store. Play It Again Sports, conveniently located at 4 Club Center Court in Edwardsville.
I just got a new air conditioner. Top of the line.
I bet mine's better. It's so efficient and quiet, I hardly know it's running.
I've got you both trumped. I've got a Linux.
So do I.
Barrett Heating and Cooling carries Linux products to meet any budget. Don't gamble with your energy dollars. Call Barrett Heating and Cooling and start saving today.
Lennox. Innovation never felt so good.
With over 20 years of experience, Wilson's Tree Service has the expertise to handle all of your tree care needs. Licensed and fully insured, their team of experts are dedicated to providing reliable service. Plus, with a 24-hour emergency service line, Wilson's will always be there for you. Don't risk tackling that timber by yourself. Trust the local professionals at Wilson's Tree Service. Visit treeservicealtonil.org to get started today.
Welcome to Evergreen Place, a community that embodies joyful living, independence, and financial freedom for seniors. If you're looking for a full day of activities or to relax in your apartment, we have you covered. Located on the Alton Memorial Campus. To know us is to love us. Experience the difference at Evergreen Place.
Life's better when you're under our roof. That's because our expert agents will make you feel totally protected with the right auto and home coverage at the right price. Also, you can enjoy the dreams you've worked so hard to achieve. American Family Insurance.
Since 1993, Sparks Junk Removal is always adapting to the needs of our clients. That is why we now offer weekly trash pickup for selected areas. Plus, we offer driveway-safe rubber-tired dumpster rental. Give us a call today at 618-781-1407 or visit us at sparksjunkremoval.net.
Not sure if you've noticed, but those advertised prices from the other dealers are just a bunch of blah, blah, blah. At Roberts Motors, the advertised price is the price you pay. And that, my friend, is great news for you. Don't fall for their so-called incentives that will leave you banging your head against the wall. Go with Roberts Motors. Prices you can trust and people you will like. That's the Roberts Motors way. And trust me, it's the way to go.
In the heart-pounding moments of the game, every move counts, just like in chiropractic care. Dr. Andrew Dykman of Rosewood Chiropractic champions this belief, supporting our teams in every drive and supporting his patients for nearly 20 years, offering affordable, compassionate, all-natural wellness care. Call 618-259-2676 or visit rosewoodchiropractic.com today.
Welcome back to our daily show. Here's CJ. Welcome back, 1050, and we have some breaking news and tragic news at that out of Jersey County. RiverBender.com, Dan Brannon, the content director of RiverBender.com, does report the following. Breaking this morning, a 33-year-old male has died from injuries suffered in a collision on a motorcycle in an accident on Sunday, May the 19th. Here's what we know. Jersey County Chief Deputy Mark Marshall did provide this report from the Sheriff's Office preliminary investigation on Tuesday. At 11:47 a.m. on the 19th of May, the Jersey County Sheriff's Office received the report of a motor vehicle accident with injuries at the intersection of State Highway 100 and Elsa Road. Jersey County Sheriff's deputies, along with a Grafton police officer, responded to this location. The initial investigation determined a 59-year-old female operating a 2022 Toyota was attempting to turn east on State Highway 100 from Elsa Road. The driver of the Toyota turned in front of a 33-year-old male operating a 2016 Harley-Davidson motorcycle who was traveling west on State Highway 100. The motorcycle struck the Toyota. The motorcycle rider was ejected and sustained injuries. Jersey Community Hospital ambulance treated this victim until he was transported by Air Evac medical helicopter to Mercy Hospital in St. Louis, and shortly after arrival, the victim succumbed to their injuries. Marshall closed with a statement. The Jersey County Sheriff's Office is conducting an investigation into this tragic incident, and our thoughts and prayers go out to the family and loved ones of this victim. RiverBender.com will keep you updated as more details do emerge from that very tragic story. One final bit of news for you today, and that was something I saw from Sydney Sinks, and wanted to fill you in on it and end on this note. Charles Mooneyham has saved countless lives, including his own. The painter once worked as a behavioral neuroscientist, then a suicide hotline clinician, where he took up to 45 calls a day from people who were on the brink of making that ultimate decision. Now, Mooneyham works as an artist with a studio in Godfrey, and he's focused on giving himself the same peace of mind that he spent so long giving others. I think a lot of it had to do with survival, Mooneyham said. My mother died by suicide. My aunt died by suicide. My half-brother died by suicide, and then I developed a drinking problem, and then I got sober, and then I started giving back. Everything that I have done has been with the intent of survival, surviving the hauntings of my past, some of which I created. Mooneyham's story of survival began as a child. He escaped trauma of his childhood by watching horror movies and creating airbrushed drawings of horror characters. Freddy Krueger, still his favorite. In high school, his art was kind of dark, and he struggled with schoolwork and with bullying. He spent most of his time in the special education classroom. Through all those challenges, art, it remained constant. As a college student, Mooneyham studied painting under Dale Treckold and began showing his art in galleries. The 1990s were filled with success as his paintings were featured in music videos, album covers, and more. But at the same time, Mooneyham's life was spiraling out of control. His substance use and trauma history were becoming too much to handle. He ended up in the psychiatric ward and then emerged sober and a little distant from the artist he had been. And it was a new chapter. He began working at the St. Louis School District with kids on the autism spectrum, and they just, quote, stole his heart. In 2013, Mooneyham returned to school to study behavioral neuroscience, and he began refurbishing a tiny house with his husband and posting on successful YouTube channel, which scratched the artistic itch. By all accounts, the things were looking up. The kid who wasn't smart enough to make change, who was in special ed classes, who could only draw pictures, is now a freaking neuroscientist, Mooneyham said. But after the pandemic hit, well, I'll just say what he said to Sydney Sinks in a direct quote. Shit got weird, end quote. His husband, a professional tarot card reader, and Mooneyham moved to Alton, where they quickly fell in love with the spooky town and the kind-hearted people. And Mooneyham took a new job as a suicide intervention clinician at a hotline. Now, while the job was rewarding, it was also emotionally draining. And after a few years, it started to take its toll. Every single one of those calls, you're in the moment of the worst day of someone's life. What that does to you, especially when you're carrying a lot of trauma yourself. Half my family died by suicide. So every day at work was constant re-traumatization for myself. Even though I was getting fulfillment of doing work to help people in the community, and it helps me feel good about myself. Like I'm legitimately saving lives. Literally, if I mess up at work, someone's going to die. That was the end of his quote. Overwhelmed, fighting panic attacks, adjusting to his new home, what did Mooneyham do to cope? He turned to that one thing that's always helped him, and that's art. He bought an airbrushing kit and began drawing those horror icons from his childhood. He began painting again, and surprising no one but himself, he found quick success. He posted pictures of his paintings on Facebook, and people reached out to buy them on a whim. He submitted some of his photography to a gallery show in St. Louis and was accepted. With his husband's encouragement, he quit his job and rented a studio space in Godfrey so he could start painting full-time, and within a month, he was accepted into 2 more gallery shows. It's been a whirlwind, and Mooneyham joked that his right-brain friends are concerned by the seemingly sudden switch, but to him, his story makes a lot of sense. Art's always been there. Art's always been the means of survival. Even though the hats have changed several times over the years, the artwork has always been the foundation that's gotten me through, he said. Life is much, much better for me. I haven't had a drink in almost 20 years. I have a home. My bills are low. I've helped a lot of people, and I'm trying to think of ways to have a voice and still help other people. I'm an independent artist, and I have my own studio, and now I'm hoping to inspire others. Mooneyham's catchphrase is, yes, you can. Even if you're a queer person in a rural community, even if you struggled in school, even if you live in a cornfield, even if you feel alone, you can do it. And you don't have to do it by yourself. No matter what it is, if you want to paint, if you want to draw, if you want to dance, yes, you can. And I also wanted to get the message out there to people that do these things will help with any kind of trauma and stress. If you feel like you're alone, things are harder. But if you realize that you're not, things are much easier. You feel validated. And sometimes people need help finding the way. I really can't stress enough that you don't have to be on the bridge to call. For more information on Charles Mooneyham's art, visit his official website at mooneyhamart.com. That's mooneyhamart.com. You can also check out his Facebook page and Instagram profile with hyperlinks on the RiverBender.com news story. And Sydney Sinks did a phenomenal job writing this one and really showcasing the individual behind the paintings. And if you or someone you know is struggling or in crisis, you can call or text 988 or chat the 988lifeline.org chat system where if you're in crisis, help's available, and you can get it by calling 988, texting it, or going to 988lifeline.org and utilizing that chat system. And, just really a great piece from Sydney. And with that being said, this is kind of a weird day for me because I'm in the process of, going out of town tomorrow, and I haven't really gone on vacation since, honestly, right before I left the radio business a couple of years ago and now came over here. So today I'll be taping interviews again for Thursday and Friday, and on Monday, a brand new show. So when I'm gone, you won't even know I'm gone. How about that? I think that's pretty cool. But wanted to just give a big shout out to everyone upstairs and, always just helping me out along the way and making sure I can, get everything done before I got a boogie on. So if you see me today driving around like a maniac, just know it's because I'm trying to cram everything in so I can come back and not be overwhelmed by more work on, that Tuesday when we get back live. So with that being said, I am out of time today. The time's 10:59. I'll see you tomorrow. On that note, just have a good Tuesday morning. Enjoy the weather, but put on sunscreen, drink a lot of water, and I'll see you back here on Wednesday. So just try your best to stay out of jail.
Oh, yes, he did. He said it would. I'll always leave.